Hi students. Now in this video you are take the last concept of the chapter, that is carbonates compounds, and the concept is soap and detergent. This is very important concept. In the examination one question must be arises from this concept. Okay, so let us start with the concept that is about soap and detergent. Let us start the first. What is the meaning of soap and what is the meaning of detergent, and what is the importance of soap and detergent, and what is the difference of soap and detergent here, right? So in the daily life we use the detergent and soap for the cleaning of cloth, right? We have dirt cloth, okay, cloth with the dirt and oily patches, and if you want to clean that cloth, so with the help of only water we not clean it effectively. But when we added some amount of soap or detergent to the water and then we clean the cloth, we observe that there is an effective cleaning of the cloth is there. Okay, we can easily remove the dirt, we can easily remove the oil patches which are present on the cloth only with the help of the soap and detergents. So one question arises, what is an important, how the soap is work, what is the working and what is the working of detergent to make that the cloth is clean. Okay, only we use water, we not clean it effectively, but when added the detergent soap, then it is be clean very effectively. Why this happen here? So let us start this knowledge here in this video. What are the mechanism behind the cleaning of cleaning action of soap and detergent? Okay, so before that let us come to the how the soaps are made. Okay, so we use so many soaps, okay, so many company soaps are there, but all are same. Okay, the company label must be changed. Okay, the title of the soap may be changed, but the content inside the soap is all same. Let us start all the content in their soap. So the soaps are made up of the two chemical, and one chemical is called as sodium and one chemical is called as potassium. Okay, so these are two chemicals which are present in the soap. Okay, maybe it's any company, okay, any company, but the common thing is that all the soaps are made up of sodium and potassium salt along with the carboxylic acid carbon chain. Okay, so the functional group which is present in the soap, that is nothing but carboxylic acid, that is what C double bond. Okay, C double bond OH. Okay, that is what carboxylic acid, right? So this functional group is present in the this soap. So in the soap chain is long chain. Okay, this long chain, it is represented like that. Okay, this is the long chain of carboxylic acid and the end is connected to the this carboxylic acid. Okay, the end, this one is connected to the carboxylic acid. This is carboxylic acid. So this is a long chain of a carbon compound in which the functional group is a carboxylic acid, right? So this is the first point. What is soap? Define the soap. Then the soap is a salt of sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acid with long chain, that is with long carbon chain, right? So this is sort of soap. And one thing is about soap is soaps are very effective in soft water. So that is very important point. The working of soap, effective means the working of soap. So soap work only in the presence of soft water, right? Means what? If we use soap and the soap can clean the cloth, condition is there. Okay, soap can only clean the cloth when there is a soft water. Means what? The working area of soap is only under the soft water, right? If the water is soft, then only we can easily work out with the soaps, right? So that is very important point. Soaps are very effective. Soaps are show their action. Soaps are clean the cloth only in the presence of soft water. Okay, but ineffective, okay, ineffective in hard water, right? So if hard water is present, hard water means that is contain salts of magnesium or calcium. Okay, so when the quantity of salt, that magnesium salt and the calcium salt quantity, okay, above the normal, right? If the increase in the quantity of magnesium or calcium salt in the water, and that water is called as a hard water. Okay, so write down definition. There is an increase in the quantity of salt like magnesium or calcium in the water, and that water is called as hard water. Okay, in the some area we observe that hard water is present because of the increase in the quantity, right? In the borewell we observe the hard water. Why? Because of the increase in these two chemical. If these two calcium or magnesium chemical when increase in the water, right, in the above the normal, then that water is called as hard water. And if this some area hard water is present and that area hard water is present, in that area we not able to use the soap, right? So soap is only used in the soft water, but in the case of hard water it not be very effective. okay, not form the cleaning action, not show the cleaning action. So that is what disadvantage of soap, right? So see here, in the environment, we know that there is in the environment, in the earth, we know that there are two types of water. One is hard water, one is soft water. Okay, but soap are only work on the soft water, but in the place of hard water, okay, some area are there, they contain only hard water, and that place the soap is not be work effectively. So in that area soap is not used. So that is one disadvantage of soap. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of soap? The disadvantage of soap is it does not work in the hard water. Okay, this does not show effective work in the hard water, but only shows in the soft water. So because of overcome through this problem, right? So we observe that soap is and clean the dirt cloth, but only in the condition soft water, but hard water. So if the hard water is present, so how we clean the cloth? That is one question mark here. So because of overcome from this problem, okay, so new substance is formed, and that is called a detergent is discovered. Okay, because to overcome of the disadvantage of this water, okay, this soap disadvantage, that is hard water. So we have to get idea to create another substance which also work in the hard water. Soft water in soap is work, but we require another substance which is also work in the hard water, and that substance is called as a detergent. So detergent are the, here second point, fourth point, detergent are the effective in both soft water and hard water. Why detergent discover? To overcome from this problem. This is a big problem faced by the scientist. So overcome from this problem, they discovered this detergent. So one question is why the detergent is what required? Okay, so because of the overcome from this problem, so that is why detergents are required. So see here, what is detergent here? So detergent are slightly different chemical. Okay, soap having sodium, potassium, but the detergent having ammonium or sulfate salt. That is the difference. Okay, in the examination, write the differences between soap and detergent. So make a two column. In the one column side, soap are sodium and potassium salt, and second column detergent are ammonium and sulfate salt. That is one difference. Okay, difference in the chemical content, but the same is carboxylic acid is same. Okay, both having carboxylic acid, but the difference is their chemical, sodium, potassium in soap, and ammonium and sulfate in sulfate salt in that is detergent. That is the one difference. And the second difference is, that is the problem, soaps are work only in soft water but not in hard water, but detergents are work more effectively in both soft water and hard water. So that is very important and very good for the area which contain hard water. Okay, some areas are there, some territories are there in which the hard water is present. So in that case they easily use the detergent, because of detergents are very good in, very effective in hard water. So that is what, to overcome from the soap problem, we are discovered the detergent. And the detergent what? Ammonium or sulfate salt. Okay, that is very important, you have to remember. So these are 4 points. 2 points is about the soap and the 2 points is about the detergent, and these 2 points are nothing but what difference between soap and detergents, right? So this is what basic information, meaning and basic knowledge about the soap and detergents. Okay, so you have to, in the 10th class, this information is enough for you about the soap and detergents. Okay, which type of chemicals are present, which acid is present, and in which the soap are effective, in which the hard water, in which the detergents are effective. Okay, so these are very important point you have to be remember about the meaning of the soap, detergent, and about the chemical present in the soap and detergent, the second point, and about the detergent differences, what difference between detergent and the soap, that is one important point. And another is why we have used the detergent. Okay, if one side is soap is present, one side is so detergent present, so we use detergent more effective. Why? Because of what reason? Because of this reason. Okay, because of the detergents are effective in both soft and hard water, but the soaps are only effective in soft water. That is the one important soap why we have to need in detergents. So that is what reason here we learn today, right? So this is the first point about, okay, about the soap and detergents meaning and their important and their differences and the chemical they contain. Okay, so next come to the very important point about the one thing is there. Okay, one point is there, that is about the important point about the scum, about the scum. Okay, that is scum means what? SCUM, scum. Scum means what here? See, the soaps are, okay, soaps are ineffective in hard water. Okay, if we are accidentally added a soap to the hard water, then you observe that the soap is not completely dissolved. Okay, when soap added to the hard water, then we observe the insoluble product, that is called as scum. So here that is important, that is what the reason behind they not effectively work. So this the soaps are effectively work only when they are dissolved in the water, and they form the fog. Okay, but if they are not dissolved in the water, in the hard water, they are not so effectively, meaning what, actually the soap when accidentally added to the hard, we not know that it is hard water, but accidentally we added to water, added soap to the hard water, and you observe that insoluble substance in the bottom of the container, and that insoluble substance is nothing but called as a scum. That is very important examination. What is scum? So scum is nothing but when a soap is added to a hard water, okay, the water of a calcium and magnesium salt, that is hard water, added, then you observe that the insoluble substance at the bottom of the container, okay, that is insoluble substance at the bottom of container, and that insoluble substance is called as what? Scum. That is very important, you have to remember, and that is related to the about the soap, right? So in the examination they ask what is scum, so very easily, so we know that the soaps are ineffective in hard water. Why? Because of when the soap is added to the hard water, we observe that in the bottom the insoluble product, insoluble substance, insoluble material, and that insoluble material is called as what? Scum, and that is that is not able to make the fog of the soap water, so that is what they are ineffective. So they form the scum, right? The soap is with the hard water, they form this scum, that is what they are ineffective. That is very, very important. Why the soap are ineffective in hard water? Because of they form the insoluble substance, that is scum. Okay, the scum is formed in the hard water by the soap, that is why they are ineffective in the hard water. Okay, so that is very important, you have to be remember this point about the scum. So let us see the last point about this concept, that is about the cleaning action of soap. So we know that the soaps are used in the cleaning of the cloth. So how the mechanism behind it, how the soaps are able to clean, able to remove the dirt from the oily dirt or any dirt from the cloth. So that is we call it as the cleaning action of soap, and that we learn in this video. So please note down these all concepts, and let us start the another concept, that is about the action of the soap, and that is the last concept. Okay, so please first write down this one. Okay students, now take the very important point, that is about the cleaning action of soap, and this is very important point about the 3 marks. Okay, very important. So let us try to understand this concept, the cleaning action of soap. So how the soap clean the dirty cloth. So let us start here. See, this is the diagram which is very important, and this structure is very important, and if this structure is formed only, then the cloth able to the soap is able to clean the cloth from the dirt, right? So here see, this structure is called as, this structure is nothing but what? The formation of a micellar. Okay, this structure is called as a micellar structure of the soap. Okay, so in the examination if they ask draw the micellar structure of soap, is you have to draw this diagram. Okay, so this diagram having different parts. This central part, black part, is called as oil droplets. Okay, any dirt, so I take here oil droplet, so that is central part, oil droplet, and this zigzag structure with the Na plus end, that is called as, okay, so here this part is there like that, zigzag structure, and with the end is Na plus. Okay, this is the so many ends are there, right? So what is the working of these ends, we can learn it later on, but let us see what is this structure parts is there. So this tail part, okay, I can make a head and this tail, and this tail part is called as a long chain of carbon. Okay, long chain of carbon, right? And this head is called as a ionic end, that is Na plus end. Okay, so I take here the sodium, the soap of sodium salt. Okay, sodium, that is a Na plus, and this whole the tail is called as a zigzag, is called as a carbon chain. So let us see here, the oil droplets is black, and this zigzag, okay, this zigzag nothing but what? The carbon, long carbon chain, and the long carbon chain is attached to this black dot, that is what? Oil droplets. So in the micellar structure we observe that all the carbon chain, long carbon chain here attached to the, means attracted towards the, okay, interact with the, okay, we can interact with the soap. Okay, this part, okay, we observe that this zigzag part is interact with the, okay, interact with the oil droplets, okay, with the oil droplets. That is very important, oil droplets. And see here, this Na plus, that is what? Ionic end. And that ionic end, okay, ionic end interact with the which? With the water. That is very important, you have to remember. In the Micellar structure we observe three parts. One part is center part, that is what? Oil droplet, okay, center part. And the second part is zigzag part and tail part, and that tail part and that is what? Long carbon chain. And that long carbon chain is attached to the, see, this long carbon chain, this, okay, so many long carbon chains are there. All long carbon chains are attached to the oil droplets. That is the second point. And the very important point is the ionic end. The ionic ends are attached to the, that is what? All is water, so attached to the water, okay, that is interact with the water, right? So this is very important point to remember here, right? So I can take next, see here, one by one. So see here, so if from this point I write here the ionic end, okay, ionic end is interact with the water, okay, interact with the water. And this is called as, okay, this, when the ionic end is interact with the water, ionic end is what? Sodium end. If the ionic end is interact with the water, okay, attract towards the water, then that end is called as a hydro means water, hydrophilic, okay, loving, okay, philic means loving, okay, water loving, we call it as water loving, right? Hydro means water, philic means loving, water loving, okay. So the ionic end is also called as a hydrophilic end. That is very important to remember. So what is hydrophilic? Hydrophilic is nothing but the ionic end is interact with the water. That is called as a hydrophilic. Hydro means water, philic means loving, so hydrophilic, okay. So ionic end is interact with the water, that is hydrophilic. And this what? Non-ionic end, that is also called as a non-ionic end or long carbon chain, okay. And long carbon chain also we called as non-ionic end, okay, also called non-ionic end. Non-ionic end, that is what? Non-ionic end interact with which, right? Oil droplet, okay, interact with the oil droplet, okay. So one end is interact with the water, that is called hydrophilic, and the one is end is there, tail is there, that interact with the oil droplet, and that is called as hydrophobic. Phobic means that is not opposite, right? So the part which are interact with the water, hydrophilic, and the part that is what? The carbon chain, okay, the carbon chain or the non-ionic end, they are opposite to the water, okay, that is interact with the oil, that is called as they are avoid the water, okay, they are avoid the water, which the carbon chain non-ionic end avoid the water, okay, they are like oil, so that is called as a hydrophobic, right? So there are two parts here there, one is ionic end and that is also called as a hydrophilic end, and one is non-ionic end, that is long carbon chain, that is interact with the oil, and that is called as a hydrophobic end, okay. This is called as, okay, this form a structure called measless, okay, structure called measless. That is very important. What is measless structure? So measless structure is nothing but this is a measless structure diagram. So definition of measless structure is very simple, okay. We have see the diagram, there are three parts, one is oil, one is tail part, that is non-ionic end, and one is ionic end, right? So that is ionic end is called as a hydrophilic and the non-ionic end is called as a hydrophobic, right? So one part is interact with the water and one part is interact with the oil, and this form a structure called as a measless structure. That is very simple definition of a measless structure. So what is the measless diagram? This is the diagram, okay. Diagram in three parts, one part is oil droplets and one part is long carbon chain and one part is a ionic end, right? And this is the water droplet, and the non-ionic part, that is called as long carbon chain, also called as a hydrophobic. Why? Because they are interact with the oil. And the ionic end is also called as a hydrophilic. Why? Because they are interact with the water. Okay, this is what Misled structure, right? Now see here what happened here. Here see the ionic end that is called as a hydrophilic, right? The hydrophilic pull the oil droplets and help to dissolve the oil into the water. Thus the separation of oil from cloth taken place and the cloth became clean. That is very important. Okay, the cloth is dirt where because of presence of the oil droplet. If you remove the oil droplet, then what happened? The cloth become clean. So we know that the oil is insoluble in water. So how we make the oil soluble in water? That is with help of the soap. That is with help of the ionic bond. That is what with help of soap. Okay, that is importance of soap. Soap is used to dissolve that dirt into the water, right? So that is done by the soap. How it is done? So see here, the structure is formed. Okay, this ionic end is attract, okay, pull the droplets in outward direction. Okay, this in outward direction. All these Na plus, okay, pull the droplet. They make a pulling force here. They attract, make a pulling force on the oil droplet by the Na plus. So Na plus can make the pulling force on the water or oil droplets, and that create a one type of emulsion. In the emulsion, that is we call it as emulsion, which create a emulsion. Okay, it create a emulsion, and that attraction emulsion is able to remove the remove the oil droplets from the dirt. Okay, that is able to clean the cloth. So that is very important point to remember. The ionic end make the one pulling force on the oil droplet, and that oil droplet is removed from the cloth, and that is dissolved into the water, and then we see that the cloth become clean. So that is very important point you have to be remember, right? So this is about all about the cleaning action of a soap. So this is a diagram and different parts. One part is hydrophilic, one part is hydrophobic. Okay, what is hydrophilic? We know what is hydrophobic, we know the definition, and then how it is clean. So that hydrophilic part create an attraction, pull the water droplet in the outward direction towards the water, and that able to dissolve the oil droplets into the water, and then we observe that the cloth become clean. So that is what the cleaning action of a soap. So we are hope you understand this point. So very important point you remember about hydrophilic and hydrophobic, and about the definition of micellar and then diagram of micellar. Very important, you have to be remember these two important definitions. Okay, so from this video we complete the chapter that is carbon and its compounds, right? So hope you understand all these concepts, all these chapters, and the very important concepts of this chapter all be clear here, right? So first one time again rewatch all the videos, okay, and make notes of all and revise all the very important reactions, chemical reactions, electron dot structures of all the hydrocarbon compounds, and also practice the about naming of the hydrocarbons, right? So here the chapter is closed. In the next video we come with the another very important concept, very important chapter of class 10 science. Okay, hope you understand all these concepts. So next video meet with the next important concept. So thank you for watching this video.